Hi, Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazin. I'm here in Portland, Oregon on the set of Leica Studios for the new movie Kubo and the Two Strings. I want to introduce you to the star of the movie. This is Kubo. Now, as you can see, he is not quite that animated as a performer. He needs a little help, and this is the gentleman who's going to do that. The director and CEO of Leica, Travis Knight. Congratulations, Travis.
Thank you.
Making his directorial debut. Very, very cool. But let's just talk a little bit about, first of all, introduce us to the story. This is now the fourth film in Leica's history.
Right. It's a fourth film following in the heels of Coraline, Paranorman, and the Box Trolls. Kubo and the Two Strings, it's a big epic samurai film. It's a rollicking, rip-roaring, white-knuckle thrill ride, a fantasy adventure set in a mythical version of ancient Japan. It centers on this boy, Kubo, who is the son of a samurai and a goddess, and he's got a little bit of magic flowing through his veins, which will come in handy when he ends up battling gods and monsters on his journey to fulfill his heroic destiny.
Now, unlike other animated films, stop motion is actually you're in the presence of the work that you're doing. If I understand, there's 24 frames per second, so you actually have to do a shot every second to get the 24 frames. But this is your lead character.
Yes.
How do you maneuver him? How many different mechanical ways can he be altered and showcased?
Yeah, so the way we make films in stop motion, it's essentially it's one of the first forms of filmmaking. It's a lot. In some ways, it hasn't evolved at all since Georges Méliès was sending rockets to the moon 100 years ago. Essentially, you have a puppet who has a little metal skeleton inside his body, which is very much like ours. It's got joints in the knees and in the wrists, and he's got little floral wires in the fingers so we can bend his finger. He's got these replacement faces that we can pop on and off so we can change his expression. Even his hair is wired so we can have his hair, blow in the breeze or react to natural physics. But what we do is we pose him a frame at a time. So we'll pose the puppet, take a picture, we'll change the pose slightly, take another picture, and you do that enough time and knit enough of those images together, and it looks like the character's moving, that he has an inner life. Of course, he doesn't. It has to be brought to life by someone's hands.
Now, as you can see, we are in quite an impressive set right here. This is one set of 67 sets. As a director, how do you oversee 67 different sets happening at maybe the same time?
It's definitely a lot to keep track of, and Kubo is by far the most ambitious thing that we've ever done. So it has been a challenge. Now, I will say that being an animator for 20 years really does help, because often what you do is you're focusing on the minutia, the granular little detail, but you also have to be able to extricate yourself from the particular frame that you're working on to figure out, okay, how can I make this work as a shot or as a sequence? So there's a lot of bouncing back and forth between the focus detail and the big picture. But I'm also the CEO of the company, so it's all big pictures, focusing on kind of the broad strokes of where we're going as a company and as filmmakers. So I think that the combination of those things, being focused on the detail as an artist and the big picture as an executive, have been good training ground for me to be the director on this film. And I think it's working out okay.
And a last quick question for you. I mean, obviously, you happen to be in the United States, you're going to hear the voices of Charlize Theron, you're going to hear Matthew McConaughey. This is for Germany. How much do you oversee what those voices are?
Well, I mean, we're absolutely a part of the process. Each territory, we want to be localized. So we want to have the Matthew McConaughey of Germany in the role of Beetle, the German version of Charlize Theron. But of course, we're not experts in those areas. So in a lot of ways, we end up relying on the local territory manager who tells us that this is the case. We will listen to the quality of their voice. We will listen to, as much as you can, divine the sense that they're drawing the emotion from the lines. But in the end, it's really all about bringing these characters to life in the best way. And so we want to have the finest actors in the world, which we've done in the English language territories, and we definitely want the same thing for the German territories.
Well, Travis, I can't wait to see the rest of the movie. Say goodbye to the German Kubo. Really appreciate it. Travis, thank you, sir. And this is Scott Orlin. Until next time.